our August 26th council meeting. Roll call. Everybody's here. The pledge will be led by Councilman Lopez and the invocation by Councilman Andazola. Please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Creator, we thank you for bringing us together tonight, and we ask that you send thy spirit amongst us to give us the guidance that we need to do what's right for the city of Stafford. We are blissful and thankful for our city management, such as our manager, our assistant manager, our clerk, our department heads, and most of all, our employees. And we really value our citizens, and we say thank you and um, make up what we have to do what's right for the city of Stafford. And we ask this in thy creator's name. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, then we'll go ahead and move on. Any citizens want to comment on agenda items? No? Okay. Any citizens want to comment on non-agenda items? No? Okay, thank you. And we'll move on to item number 7, special events liquor license application for the 2024 Natural Sweet Salsa Festival, the Chamber Mixer.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'm here to propose the following. This is a request for the mayor and city council to review and approve the Arizona Department of Liquor Licenses and Control application presented in support of the 2024 Nature Sweet Salsa Festival Chamber Mixer event in association with the Graham County Chamber of Commerce. This application requires approval by a local governing body for final consideration by the Arizona Department of Liquor Licenses and Control. Our strategic goals, public information and outreach. Our background is the mixer is held on the Thursday before the event on September 26th at 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. It will be held at the venue and vignette on Main. This mixer is a tradition of pre-festival event hosted by the Graham County Chamber of Commerce in gratitude for the various sponsors supporting the Salsa Festival. The analysis. The Graham Chamber of Commerce Special Event License application provides a detailed security plan which notes the event venue location as an open container alcohol zone for on-site consumption. There will be only one controlled entry and exit point at the venue along with 3 other existing emergency exit points. 2 to 4 event staff will provide security oversight to ensure that all attendees purchasing alcohol are checked for proper ID. Wristbands will be required to identify those patrons unable to purchase and carry alcohol beverages. A 2-drink purchase per bar minimum will be enforced and all patron consumption monitored. All servers are also Title IV Arizona alcohol service certified. Our recommendation is that this is highly supported and approved by the council, as well as the diagrams are attached for your observation as well. If there's any questions, be happy to answer them.
When you say on-site, you mean inside?
Yes, there are no alcohol will be allowed outside of the venue itself.
Anybody else have any comments? Okay, it's an action item.
Mayor, I move that we approve the special event liquor license application for the 2024 Nature Sweet Salsa Festival Chamber Mixer.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the special event liquor license application for the 2024 Natural Sweet Salsa Festival Chamber Mixer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Move on to 2.
Next agenda item is for liquor license support of the Salsa Festival itself. This is a request to the mayor and city council to review and approve the Arizona Department of Liquor License Control application for the 18th Natural Sweet Salsa Festival, Year of the Chimichanga. The event is associated with the Graham County Chamber of Commerce. The application requires approval by a local governing body for final consideration by the Arizona Department of Liquor License. Once again, it is a public information outreach. The Salsa Fest is a 2-day event scheduled on Friday, September 27th, from 5 to 10 p.m., and on the following Saturday, on September 28th, from 11 to 10 p.m. The event will take place on the Safford City Hall lawn, City Hall Drive, and 700 block Main Street between 8th and 7th Avenues. Analysis, the Chamber of Commerce Special Event License application provides detailed security plan similar to what we were speaking about in the earlier one. There will be only one controlled entry-exit point with security oversight located off of Main Street at the lawn entrance walkway that leads to the Fireman's Memorial, right off of Main Street itself. Furthermore, 2 roving security personnel wearing identifying vests will roam the lawn area throughout the 2-day event. The designated alcohol zone will be clearly marked and identified with signage, and no alcohol permitted outside of the general lawn area. All attendees purchasing alcohol will be checked for a proper ID and provided a wristband to identify patrons able to purchase, carry, or consume alcohol beverages. All servers will have Arizona Title IV alcohol service certification and will ensure only 2 beverages are purchased per visit. Servers and event security staff will also closely monitor all patron consumption. The Nature Sweet Salsa Festival remains an annual tradition supporting the spirit of the season and promotes a sense of community, unity, morale, and pride. Our recommendation to the city staff, of the city staff, is to support the recommendation is for approval.
You say general lawn area, you mean the entire lawn?
Yes, sir. If you see on the diagram that's provided, the whole red line is the lawn and the driveway itself that will be fenced off, and that will be considered the alcohol drinking consumption area, or parts of the lawn. Your only entry point, again, is the green dot coming off of Main Street. There will be 2 event personnel and vendor entrance that are going to be monitored, which is the east gate to the driveway and next to the city hall where the stage is for the event.
So when there's performances taking place in front of City Hall, you can sit in the chairs and consume alcohol.
Yes, sir. And you could actually be at one of the events. The cornhole, the vendors will be out on the east lawn, so they can walk around the east lawn as well with the open container.
So it's gotten bigger, it keeps growing. I hope security is growing along with it.
Yes, sir.
More trash cans. Thank you, sir.
So you said there's gonna be fencing? Are we like putting up some type of fencing?
Yes,
'Cause I know
the-
right now there's that little gate and you can just step right over that.
The Chamber of Commerce has purchased gate fencing, portable fencing. So he's actually purchased more so that we can ensure the entire lawn and driveway are covered. The security gates along the driveway will be closed, but they will be monitored.
So in case of an emergency,
Yes.
people can still get out. They're not
Yes.
gonna be locked in with one entry exit.
Yes. Now, the only entrance and exit will be, again, coming off of Main, and that will be posted the whole time, so making sure nobody walks out of there with any kind of alcohol, because there will be vendors all along between the 8th and 7th.
Mayor, I'm not only concerned with walking out, I'm concerned with walking in with stiffer alcohol. So that needs to be monitored also. You know, bringing in your own bottle.
Oh, no, yeah, they won't be able to bring alcohol into the facilities. Now, if it's in a container, unless we had them break that down and do the sniff test or something like that, we won't know, but that's in any event that we have.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Anybody else? Any more discussion? This is an action item.
Yeah, I move that we approve the special event liquor license application for the 2024 18th Nature Suite Salsa Festival.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the special event liquor license application for the 2024 18th Natural Sweet Salsa Festival. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to item number 3, the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes of August 12th, 2024?
Motion, we approve the minutes, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of August 12th, 2024 council meeting minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Okay, then we'll move on to item number 8, ordinance number 024-009. It's the Griffin rezone. Amy?
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a request for a second read and approval or disapproval of the rezone of parcel 103020005A. This is a rezone from the R2 multiple family residential district to the C3 light commercial district. Strategic goals are growth and development and pursuing infill opportunities. Background, the Planning and Zoning Commission and the City Council have held the required public hearings and a first reading of the ordinance. Staff and the Planning and Zoning Commission have recommended approval. You have attached in your packet ordinance 24-009, and I am here to ask to answer any questions that you may have about this.
Anybody have any questions?
I just have a request.
Go ahead.
It's just me asking this, when possible, I know it's not always, you give the parcel number, but when it is possible, could you give an address also? Sometimes I have to look even further, and then these are reminders that we've been there, just to jog my mind of where we're talking.
Yes, sir. Vice Mayor Arnold, Mr. Lopez, and Mayor Ortega. If the property is addressed, we will add it. This one does not have an address at this point, but we will make sure that it is included in the report.
Because sometimes when the public asks, they don't know parcel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have? Go ahead.
My concern was the possibility of liquor store being next door.
Yes, Councilmember Arbizo, Mayor Ortega. I did speak with the licensing supervisor with the liquor department at the state. And if an application was presented like it was for the special event and the council voted against it, then there are several administrative procedures through the state that the applicant has to participate in with appeals and extra hearings and things of that nature. And we also have a lot of control through our development process. So there would be at least 3 to 4 public hearings for any development plans. And I did speak with the state licensing supervisor, and they hold the opinion of municipalities very highly. And so if you vote against something, it triggers a lot more steps in their process. And we would be apprised of that situation as it moved along.
So what I hear is if something does come up, we have the opportunity to.
Yes, yes, sir. So it would be presented just like it was tonight, and you would have the opportunity to vote against it.
Okay. Thank you for looking that up.
Yes, sir.
So, to me, in the past, when we did these, it was just a recommendation, and it seemed like there wasn't any stopping, that it didn't really matter what we said. Now you're saying that we do have some say.
Yes, sir, Vice Mayor Lopez. So that's why I called the liquor board today to see what the steps are in the process, because in my tenure, we hadn't voted against any of them. And so I had heard what the process was, but I verified it with the licensing supervisor of what their process entails.
So it just adds a little more paperwork for us to say no.
Yes, so you would vote no, and then it adds a ton of time, work, and meetings to the applicant to prove that there's not an issue there. And so your recommendation, your vote of no, is highly regarded at the state. That's why they send it to the municipalities to review it and vote.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
So this zoning does allow for a convenience store or a liquor store?
So it allows for other neighborhood retail uses, including restaurants, provided that the building frontage is 60 feet or less. And then it also allows for the umbrella category of other like uses when approved by the zoning administrator, and that may be appealed to the council. So there are several steps in the process, whether I could say no upfront, or it would come to you and you would have an opportunity to say no to a use that is not a small office in nature. So if it was any retail use, it would have extra approval processes. And I would be the first stop that would say no, and then after that, it could come to you, or they could appeal my ruling.
Thank you. I would not oppose the right restaurant wanting a liquor.
Correct.
But I do oppose a convenience store or a liquor store.
Yes, and
Those
that,
aren't expressly put in there. I'm happy with it.
yes, Councilman McGoy and Mayor Ortega. So the list of things that are allowed by right are clerical offices, writing, small, lower use, lighter intensity uses. And then the other neighborhood retail uses, the restaurant would have to be 6,000 square feet or less. And so at that time, if they wanted a beer and wine license with the restaurant, that would also come to you and you would have the vote on that.
Thank you.
Um, when you go forward with your research, and I know you've done some already, if you find any examples of somebody or another council that has said no, could you bring it to our attention so we could read up on it?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Okay. That's action item.
I make the motion, we approve ordinance 024009, the Griffin rezone.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 024-009. That's a Griffin rezone. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
This completes the approval of ordinance number 024-009, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Safford, Graham County, Arizona, effectuating a map amendment, rezoning Graham County Assessor's parcel number 103-02-005A from city of Safford R2 multiple family residential district to C3 light commercial district.
Thank you, B. And we'll move on to item number 2, ordinance number 024-010.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. Staff is requesting a second reading and approval or denial of ordinance 024010, an ordinance of the city of Safford rezoning Graham County Assessor's parcel 102411009 from agricultural residential and C2 highway commercial to the agricultural residential, C2 highway commercial, and industrial 1 light industrial district. Strategic goals are growth and development and pursuing infill opportunities. Background, the Planning and Zoning Commission and the City Council have held the required public hearings and a first reading of the ordinance. Staff and the Planning and Zoning Commission have both recommended approval, and you have ordinance 024-010 in your packet, and a map of the subject property is online on the camera for you, and they did not have an address at the beginning of this process, and they do now. So I'll make sure that as the process goes on and they do receive an address, the further communication will be included.
I did notice yesterday when I was leaving town that we had not given the final approval, but they already have signs up. Barney Trucking, it's like kind of shaped like a V. They already had it as if it was approved, it was moving forward. Is that something we allow them to do before they have the final approval?
Yes, Councilwoman Brantner and Mayor Ortega. So they had commercial zoning previously. And so at the very least, they're relocating the office for their development there. And so that building will be on the already commercially zoned property. And so they intentionally put it there in case this didn't go through. At least they had an option for their office.
That just caught me by surprise that we
Yes.
hadn't final approved anything.
Yes, ma'am. It was split zoned commercial, highway and agricultural residential. So their addition is the industrial. And so at least they'll have their office there in the previously commercially zoned area. So they moved forward with that simultaneously so that they could be quicker to at least get an office location.
And once we get this approval, they're still working with ADOT, right, to get the lane for the slowdown? Because that kind of scares me to have diesel slowing down when the mine traffic's coming through. I can see accidents happening.
Yes, ma'am. They've had their driveway for what they're doing approved by ADOT and constructed. And then as the development moves on, especially if they add the residences for the drivers that they're thinking of adding, that will require further study by ADOT.
And I had asked last time, I was hoping they're not gonna make a way to take larger trucks out to Little Hollywood Road.
Yes, Vice Mayor Lopez and Mayor Ortega, at this point, they have absolutely no desire to do that. And that's why they've left it agricultural residential. It's safer, easier, and faster for their drivers to use the highway, and that's where they've permitted it with ADOT.
Okay, if there's no more discussion, it's an action item.
Make the motion, we approve ordinance 24-010, GBL Investments Barney Trucking Zone, Rezone.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 024-010. That's the GBL Investment Barney Trucking Rezone. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
This completes approval of ordinance number 024-010, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of City of Safford, Graham County, Arizona, effectuating a map amendment, rezoning Graham County Assessor's Parcel Number 102-41-009 from City of Safford AR Agricultural Residential and C2 Highway Commercial District to AR Agricultural Residential, C2 Highway Commercial, and IND-1 Light Industrial.
Thank you. We'll move on to item number 9, report on operational items. There's none. Okay, then we'll move on to number 10, announcement of current events. There's none. We'll move on to item number 11, request for future agenda items.
I had one, but I think I can bring it up in our evaluation coming up. We'll be okay there.
Is anybody then? That you good?
I know that it came before us before. I'm asking mayor to ask city manager to bring before us. We had the gentleman, Mr. Bell, come through from the city cleanup. I'm just asking that he could bring it before us to let us know the status of where these properties are now with the liens and where we're at with the cleanups and that type of thing. Thank you.
Okay, then we'll close the regular council meeting and reconvene into executive session meeting.
Mayor, make the motion, we go into executive session.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to close the regular meeting and reconvene into executive session meeting. We'll take a 10-minute break.